Many people with disabilities face stigma and discrimination in their communities on a daily basis. That experience can have a devastating impact on their emotional health, especially for those who cannot cope with it. Naboth Kole is a PhD holder from Makerere University who defied the stigma and discrimination that most people in society have towards people like him.
We've been brought up in a society that looks at us from a negative perspective, and it takes courage and strong will to be different.
Kole was attacked by polio at the tender age of 6. His whole world came crashing down around him after the attack. He turned from being able-bodied to a youngster with a disability.
But I could not sit. I could not stand the way I was standing. Then I started, crawling using my chest down. So to be who I am today and how I walk, it was the rehabilitation process that I went to.
But Kole later changed his mind after getting encouragement from a man he says he'll never forget.
You are taken to school and everybody's looking at you as something strange, even teachers. They're wondering where to start from to help you. You're in class, the rest moves out for break, you remain in. The moment you get a chance to move out with them, then you're seated out there, they will come and surround you. They want to see your reaction, Then you have to tell, I don't want to go to school.
He learned that he's a special person who is worthy of respect.
I started now appreciating myself, but at a minimal level, when I discovered that there were people who could not feed themselves. That there are people who cannot move unless somebody is there to push them in a wheelchair. That there are people who cannot see. That there are people who cannot hear.
He set out to learn to do things that able-bodied people do, and do them even better. He started by learning how to drive. Many people who knew him regarded it as a bad idea.
I learned driving using a taxi. Kamunye. At first he taught me how to be on the road straight. And I could sit on his laps, and he operates down. For me, I'm on the steering. Then afterwards, he taught me how to operate. And of course, taxi gear levers are on this side. So he taught me the best way to do it. You are going to use your leg and your arm at a terrific speed that you can press the clutch and change the gear at the same time. It was not simple, but it was a quick process and I got it.
While in his senior 6 vacation, he became a taxi driver in Mbala town. The discrimination was so bad, but he kept at it.
But you enter in to start driving the car, they all move out.
Why?
Because they think you cannot drive them.
When the senior 6 results were released, it turned out that Kole had passed with flying colors. He went on to study at Makerere University on government sponsorship and eventually obtained his PhD. Dr. Kole no longer uses wheelchairs because he believes it contributes to the stigmatization.
The perception. The wheelchair is good. But how people look at you into it is where the problem is. Nobody will look at you in a wheelchair and they shook. We are still in a third world country. They look at you from the pity perspective. Oh, sorry.
He uses his car to work and crawls his way around to whatever area that his car can't reach. But he faces a number of challenges, especially when it comes to climbing upstairs in buildings without lifts.
Those old buildings, we still have a challenge. That's why, to me, you'll find that I'm transacting my businesses, but I'm limited.
We traveled around Kampala with a person with a disability called Mushidi Buembo to see what he goes through on a daily basis. At the busy Jinja Road, it was clear that persons with disabilities face difficulties crossing the road because there are no points where they can cross with ease. It's also difficult for them to get taxis.
People with physical disabilities still face numerous challenges, and one of them is the difficulty they face in accessing public transport means and today we moved around with Buembo, and it was evident because it took 30 minutes to 1 hour for Buembo to be accepted by these tax drivers.
ShopRite. ShopRite.
All this goes to show the level of discrimination that people with disability face in the country.
In other countries, I mean, a person with disability is respected.
Stigma can have a lot of negative effects on such people. While the Constitution provides for the equal treatment of all persons, many people in society still regard people with disabilities as being less worthy of respect. Ivan Chimulichigozi, NTV.